Hi everyone and welcome back to the channel. It's me, your girl. So this whole video is just genuinely about resetting for February and reflecting on January. This is a series that I started, I think, back in like August, September on my TikTok, where I would do a reflection on the month that I just had and then what were my intentions for the next month. And I filled out a lot of my planner already, so things are already kind of filled out and figured out already, but I wanted to sit down and just do a reflection on January. So this video will be compiled of about 6 different parts. So it'll be planning for next month, so planning for February, recapping on my January goals and intentions, recapping on my January habit, my monthly budget tracker for January, and then my monthly budget tracker for February, and then lastly a monthly reflection, and then what are my intentions for the next month, because I kind of forgot that. So maybe there's really like 7 parts to it, or like that monthly reflection of like January, and then what is my intentions for February. And I'm so excited that you chose my corner of the internet to find and that you're here watching this video. If you don't already follow me on multiple different social media platforms, because I'm on Instagram and TikTok and all of those things, please feel free to go ahead and follow me on those platforms. I do shorter form content obviously in them, not long form content like YouTube. But without further ado, since this video is being filmed about a week before January ends, some of the things that I'll be talking about will have to be broken down into different videos. So if I look different throughout this video, it's because I am doing some of it the week before January ends, and then I have to do some of it the week of January ending. I just want to make sure that this video is up at the last day of January, today, and making sure that it's ready for February. So thanks for watching and let's get started. Hello, welcome to Shay's Coffee Shop. I'll tell you what I can get you, okay? So it's not like a reset video without a little treat, okay? And I'm the queen of treats. So today we're gonna make a little latte, our little Anthropologie cup, and we're using the Cafe Bustelo, and I like it. It's like $6, and using my espresso machine, which was not working the first time I tried to film this. Now we're doing take 2, and so I've just filled up my little portafilter, yeah, and I'm gonna connect it to the espresso machine, lock it in, and let it go. Pour in our little shot of espresso. So here we've got it in here. I personally like the Cafe Bustelo. I'll be very real. So we've got our shot in here. We're gonna add creamer, not oat milk. We're gonna do creamer in here. Just use the Silk Almond Caramel Creamer. Add ice. Some ice fell into the sink. That's okay. And then we're gonna give it a little stir. And then give it a drink. That's pretty good. Now you have a drink and we can properly do a reset together. Also, I'm wearing a cardigan, workout top, and some joggers. So basically I'm like peak millennial right now. I've got some blue light blocking glasses. Peak millennial right now. Or is it giving Gen Z? I never know. Anyways, let's get to the reset. So reflecting on the month, let's talk about that. What was my January goals recap? So for health, did I work? So I also wanted to work with a registered dietitian and also wanted to just get in movement each day. I did not reach out to a registered dietitian because I was on a new healthcare and I was just trying to figure out what a new healthcare plan even looked like. And then also I did not get in movement each day because I did get sick. I was sick all last week, so the middle of January, sick, and I'm still recovering from being sick. So movement each day is just not really possible. I didn't get like intentional time in the gym like I should have been doing intentional time in the gym. So whatever. Money, I did set aside minimum $100. I believe the maximum has been $300 that I've set aside for the month of January. For relationships, I did do our monthly dates on Friday, and then that goes into phone boundaries. So I actually plan that in the month of January, I would have date nights be where I don't have my phone during date night. And it's harder when we have at-home date nights to not be on my phone, but I did really well on the date nights that we went out, and we still have one more date night, and I plan to do that date night out while also putting my phone away. Both of us are going to put our phone away so that we can focus on each other. The other half of the phone boundaries was just essentially having no plan weekends. So that was kind of like part of my relationships and social, was having no plan weekends. And while I still plan stuff eventually for those weekends, at the end of the day, I wasn't sitting there and setting plans months in advance for those weekends. I just was like, no, I can set them, you know, Thursday or Friday before the weekend, but I'm not going to set them months in advance. Did I do friend dates? I did do a FaceTime call with one of my friends, but I have not seen any other friends because I got sick. And I did have a first date. I say first date. I had a first friend meetup with a girl. I was supposed to have one in the middle of January, and once again I got sick, so I wasn't gonna get her sick, and so I had to cancel that. So that was not the best reflection. For career and study, I'm really learning my new company, so I'm really trying to adjust to what that looks like, and I think I did pretty good. I will say that my numbers looked really good in terms of students getting the help that they needed and also getting registered for classes, so that was really good. And then another just like little career and study thing that popped up is I actually did apply for my master's, and I think that's amazing. I don't know yet if I've gotten in. It is the 22nd when I filmed this, but maybe when I film the second half, I'll know that I got into a master's program. But as of right now, I'm not in a master's program just yet, but I did apply for a master's program. For social, I did pick out a book for me to read, and I actually it's January 22nd as I film this, and I'm on my 4th book, which I intend to finish by the end of the month, and I'll let you know in the second half if I do. But I did get 3 books read, which is really good. 2 were audiobooks, 1 was a regular book, and they all count. Don't even come at me. But I did not do well enough, I think, with connecting with friends. I should have had intentional FaceTimes. I did record the podcast with my friend, so recording it does require social time for us to be together, but it's not like intentional time we were just sitting and talking about our days. So I could connect with friends a little bit better. And then I did not save for a house. I did set therapy appointments. I did release the season 4 podcast. And the kicker of it all is I reached 4,000 followers on TikTok by January 18th. And my numbers just keep going up, and I'm so excited. So that was just January's goals recap, and what my intentions were for January, and then how I did on those intentions. The next part of this is planning for next month, and we'll kind of divulge into, I already have a plan for next month, but I'll show you what my plan looks like for next month. And then we'll get into recapping on my January habits in the second half, my monthly budget tracker for January, and my monthly budget tracker for February in the second half of this video. Okay, so this is my little planner spread here for the month of February. So we have personal, priorities, other tasks, personal or professional, and then priorities, and then other tasks. And then I've broken it down all by like the days and what I need to get done each day. So, you know, I'm going to be recording my podcast, posting the podcast teaser, also doing a vlog on TikTok, date night. I'm gonna try in the month of February doing no social media half days, but I'm gonna vlog on YouTube I am celebrating my friend's birthday, posting our podcast, and then my vlog schedule will be Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and then I won't vlog that weekend, and then the vlog schedule will be Tuesday and Thursday in the same week that I will also be having my Valentine's Day date, and also weekend vlog on YouTube. No social media half day. Lovely. We've got coffee dates on Sundays. Fridays are always for our date night. And then same Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I don't work on Monday, so I have a little out of office sticker. Won't focus in. And then I also write down all of my paydays, and I write down when bills are due and then what I need to do for check-ins on the last day of the month. And then I vlog on Tuesday and Thursday, podcast, weekend YouTube vlog. And so this is just kind of my spread for the month of February, and what the month of February looks like for me. It's going to be busy because we've got Valentine's Day, we've got a content schedule now, YouTube schedule. We're also going to be doing no social media half days. I've got some birthdays in there, and then I kind of switch up no social media half days, Saturday, Sunday, and then podcast stuff and just other stuff that I need to get done, bills that are due. This is just kind of the breakdown of what my monthly look like. Okay, so thinking about February's intentions, February's goals. So the monthly focus goals for February is to get daily movement in some form, whether it's in the gym or walking. I want to plan out my therapy appointments. I want to choose my monthly book, so the book that I'll be reading that month. I'll probably read more. Continue with my podcast season 4. When I was looking at working with a registered dietitian, I knew that there would be maybe like weight check-ins or something like that, so I could kind of plan for those, but you know, not trying to trigger anyone with that. I kind of like to just check in where I'm at sometimes. Here and there, weight's not super prominent, although I do need to really think about my health and stuff. And so working with a registered dietitian, working to see if I have PCOS, kind of just checking in with my weight, where it's at, all those things is very important. So planning friend dates with my friends, having phone boundaries, so intentionally no social media on half days, doing a monthly check-in, so at the end of the month doing a check-in like what I'm doing now, sending out a monthly newsletter, and at minimum setting aside $100. And for my habit tracker, which I haven't filled out just yet, I will include daily habits or affirmations, gratitude, morning pages, daily movement, doing my daily chores. Weekly will be friend meetup elsewhere or friend meetup in general, so FaceTime, whatever. Charging my phone elsewhere, so that's another part of my phone boundaries, is I like to charge my phone in another room during the week. Not necessarily during the weekend, but during the week I like to charge my phone somewhere else. And then also just following a plan of intentional eating for myself. I don't really love the word diet, but I just want to make sure that I am intentionally eating like my veggies, my fruits, and I'm not just like I'm not getting enough protein in during the day. So really, like, this last month of January has just been trying to really focus in on tracking my intake of protein and seeing if I can get as much protein as possible. So let's go ahead and fill out the February habit tracker, and I'll show you when I'm done. So this is my filled out habit tracker. So these are my daily habits that I want to do. These are my weekly habits and then my monthly habits. Clearly I have more monthly habits and I messed up a little bit, so there's white out. Oh well. So basically my January habits are doing affirmations and gratitude daily, reading daily, doing my morning pages daily, getting daily movement in, daily chore, charging my phone elsewhere, and following a food plan that works best for me. And then weekly is half days, no social media, therapy 2 to 3 times, friend dates and FaceTime, you know, weekly or every other week. Post my podcast every other week, so this doesn't really go into like, did I do this weekly or not? Habits, so set aside $100 per paycheck, read 1 book, my monthly newsletter, do my budget tracker, and of course bathe the dog. That's what my habit tracker looks like for the month of February. So like I said, this video is going to be compiled into 2 parts. I'm going to be in 2 different outfits. Come on, stylish queen over here. But next part of the video will be a recap on my January habit. It'll be going over my monthly budget tracker for January and then my monthly budget tracker for February, in which I don't have completely all the way filled out. I have an idea of what everything's gonna look like in a budget, but I kind of want to see what this month's budget looks like in order to fully budget for next month. So without further ado, let's get into the second part. I I told you I'd be back, and I'm back, and we're going to recap on January habits. We're going to do monthly budget tracker for January and the monthly budget tracker for February. So this is my habit tracker. Okay, it's not all the way filled out because I still have technically 3 days left of the year, but I don't suspect much will change. The biggest habit that I had the biggest trouble with was morning pages. I just could not get myself to journal much this month. For some reason, I didn't want to be honest and real with myself, and so I didn't journal a lot. So about 22 days I didn't journal out of the month, which is pretty bad. For affirmations and gratitude, they were my best. I usually do pretty good on affirmations and gratitude, and only 3 days out of the day were missed for affirmations and gratitude. For daily movement, I was sick from the 18th to the 26th, so I wasn't able to get any movement in from the 18th to the 26th, so that's the only time that I really got the least amount of movement in. So that was about 13 days of daily movement that I didn't do. For daily chores, there are about 10 days I didn't do stuff. For friend meetup, I met up with friends twice, FaceTime and in person. And then charging my phone elsewhere, there are about 13 days I didn't charge my phone elsewhere. And following like a plan of like protein and just getting fiber in and stuff like that, I did really well. And about 3 days weren't so good. For dinner without my phone, there were about 2 days or 2 dates that I didn't do it because that's a weekly habit. So 2 weeks I didn't do it. And then for bathing the dogs, I wanted to do at least twice a month, and I've only done 1 time this month. And for posting the podcast, I wanted to do 3 times this month. That'll happen. It's already happened twice, and then the 3rd will be this week. And then I did really good on planning friend dates and meetup, reading 1 book, setting aside $100. I did that actually 3 times this month. So I set aside $300 this month, which is pretty good. I did have to dip into my savings a little bit to get my MacBook. For the monthly newsletter, I did send that out, and I did do the budget tracker. So, woo! We did good on some habits. We did really bad on journaling, but that's okay. Hey! I just sat down, looked at my finances, and whoa, something's gotta change. Something's gotta change. Okay, so this is that's all of this month so far. So that's all for this month of everything that is supposed to come out. I know that is only the 29th, and you know, 30th, 31st, something could come out. But according to the 29th, a good budget. For shopping, I spent about 4%. For health, I spent about 5.7%. For food, groceries, I spent about 1.94%. For food, coffee, I spent 2.9%. For food, restaurant, I spent 2.1%. For transportation, I spent 27.4%. For home, I spent 33.4%. For subscriptions, I spent 6.4%. For personal, I spent 14.1%. So in that personal was not shopping. It was my MacBook, and I got stamps. And for education, I spent 1.9%. Totaling to $2,338.42. And my total income was $2,404.89, meaning I had $66.47 left over, and $483 went to my total, is like my total savings. And my opening balance was $1,499.95. So this is kind of like how it like breaks down. That's the little thing. Look how much is spent. I spend more than 50% on transportation and home, which if you didn't know this, I'm actually looking at hopefully trading in my car for like a older car. I don't drive that much, so there's no reason for me to have the car that I have. So that'll lower my transportation significantly lower, but not super low. So I'll still have transportation. And for home, that is rent and electric. For subscriptions, that's like Apple, Spotify, my phone, and gym. For food, that includes restaurants, coffee, and groceries. I don't get groceries. My partner gets groceries during this time because they make more than I do. For health, I spend about 5.7%. And shopping was 4%, which is the lowest it's probably ever been, but personal still kind of goes with shopping, so 18.1%. Almost 20% was just spent on shopping and personal items, and then 1.9% was my education. So in all actuality, all I should be having is subscriptions, food, personal, health, transportation, and home. Education will go away, shopping will go away because it'll just be like personal items because I'm trying not to shop very much. $66.47 left. So with all that to say, budget, get your shit together and budget, because this is insane to look at the numbers and know how much is actually going to home and transportation. Like, that's just absolutely insane to me. I suggest you get a budget planner. I got mine from Amazon and I did all the calculations and everything. So yeah. Anyways, thanks for watching this monthly reset. I really appreciate your time and you choosing my video and my corner of the internet to be on, and I look forward to videos to come.